Collective. Hello, hello, my loves. Welcome to Vivid Vibration. My name is Christina. I hope that y'all are doing well. Collective. We got Kairos, the shaman, the bardo, the crone, the nectar, and the vision. And I just feel like this process of, well, like if you were watching a movie and you're like sold on the idea of some character. What, like Sixth Sense or something like that, like dude thinks he's alive the whole time, but in the end he's dead. But you don't know that until you do. I mean, unless you did all along and la-di-da, like congratulations to you. But for the majority of the audience, there was shock, you know? And I feel like, well, I do feel like there is a little bit of shock because the shock seems to come from the idea of like what it is that you have to let go of because you were sold on a character. And I feel like the more perspectives you gain, like the harder it is for you to hold on to some idea. And so I feel like you're well, it just has very Aquarian vibes to it because it's like that in the back of the room watching. Like even if you are engaged with what's going on, like somehow energetically you're like removed from it all, watching it. But I feel like what you're watching is, well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if somebody's watching you or because that did feel kind of like for some of y'all, there's somebody watching you let go of something. And I feel like they're watching that themselves lose a little bit of control because part of the way in which they maintained control was to keep you singularly focused on one thing in one direction, down one line of thought. And as long as they could keep you there, like, oh, I just feel like there are people here who deal in magic, and whoever they are, they deal in dark magic. These people are insecure and they really do not understand truly the concept of self-love. So they seek to control others to prevent them from experiencing something more, something bigger, something better. This this link was the link that held this relationship together, and I feel like this link is broken because clarity was gained through perspective. And then flashback to the other story, I feel like another person who was on the, I don't know, because I feel like there are three people involved in this story. And I feel like one person was in control. Another person was oblivious, and I just kind of feel like there being this, I don't know, because it feels like this epic battle, but it's like a battle of control. Oh, it makes my body feel very tense. Like I don't know how I feel about this read, you guys. But anyways, however this all goes down, things are being released because when you see things from a bigger perspective, you also see how small those people who held you in place really were. like some small motherfuckers. You know what I mean? To the point where I feel like almost a little bit of shock in that, like in that release, because it feels like a repulsed energy. I feel repulsed by an energy that had been manipulating and controlling through singularity. But I feel like the lessons learned through all of this come through as a sense of like gained freedom. Because when you release the one thing, because the idea behind the shaman card is that there are 3 parts to it, and if you cling to one part of it, you miss out on the entirety of the experience. And I feel like you're releasing something that was holding you in place, and taking what you've learned from this experience. And I just feel like going in a new direction. A direction that allows you to reach your full potential. Because most of the time they only want you to reach your potential within the realm of their control over that. Like they want to tell you, oh, listen, if one more motherfucker wants to come at me and tell me that I need to tone my my personality down. You want me to tone my charm down? You want me to not be so fucking beautiful? You know, you know, like stop, get the fuck away. You know what I mean? But I just kind of feel like this, like, well, for the image and for the, you know, the goal and for the da 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 da, you should really da 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 da. And it's like, you should really get off my dick, bitch. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like there's a battle going on, and I feel like somebody is pissed. But I almost feel like this, whoever's pissed, I feel like there's this release, because I think that like there's this, like a spotlight put on someone that shows them, it's like the mirror that exposes them for what they truly are. And listen, if you don't seek that shit out on purpose, that shit pops out and gets you. And I feel like this has got a vibe of that shit popped out and got you times 3. You know, and there's this release of something, because I think there's a recognition for like a need to heal something. Because if you were, I don't know, I guess I just kind of want to say like under the spell of some people who just had you convinced that there was one way. I think you fought people who were opposed to that one way. And, you know, when you realize that you've been fighting on behalf of the enemy, the beast, I mean, you release it and you're repulsed. And I think that there's just a shock. But, you know, a direction that you're taking that you are just so fucking stoked on. You know what I mean? Because I just kind of feel like there's not a lot of time to really concern yourself with that. There's just enough time to release it and go in a new direction. Okay. Collective. I hope y'all are doing well. Everyone's having a lovely day today. It was like a torrential downpour, gale force winds, and then snow. Like they shut down the main road. It was crazy. Like, I don't know why they shut it down though, because it's not even that bad. Anyways. Okay. Collective. The Hermit, the and Temperance, the Seven of Wands, the Eight of Wands, and the Ace of Pentacles. You know, I feel like whatever this like shock is for you, this like release for you, it is something that I think very quickly almost throws you back into balance. You know, like instead of feeling like whiplashed, it's like the opposite of that. You feel like whiplashed back into like the reality. You know what I mean? And I feel like the second you feel whiplash back into reality, you find that you feel very balanced all of a sudden. It's like you went to a chiropractor and you're aligned, or, you know, like you went, got some acupuncture or something. I don't know, but it feels like whatever it is that you do, it just sets you to task, you know, and you're like, I can see my way out of this. There's only one direction that I really want to go in, and it's the direction of my vision. Collective. Death and the Wheel of Fortune. Well, yeah, because it does kind of feel like a death. It does kind of feel like this release of something that lost its grip. And once it loses its grip, you're good to go, because I don't know, it does have that of like, get it off, get it off, get it off, get it off. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I feel towards that energy, and that's how I feel like you feel towards that energy. And I feel like that energy is aware of what's happening and watching it happen. And I feel like you've been on the outside of something that you were supposed to be on the inside of, because you were singularly aligned with something that was keeping you in your place. And you weren't going to get out of your place until that was broken. And I feel like once it's broken, everything turns around. And when everything turns around, you're like, there. All right. Collective. The flame. Because I feel like there's something that you're drawn to. There's something that you like, you were held from. Because I feel like this energy plays out two ways. And I feel like part of this is you. And you were singularly focused, and you were, you know, acting on behalf of what is coming through to me as the village, you know, and they wanted to control how big you could get because it needed to fit in alignment with what they were doing for their things. But their things are fine, I'm sure, in many arenas. I'm sure they're not all bad, but You know, I tend to be anti-organization in general. Um, ACOB. I don't think that's right, but it's funny. Anyways, I think that whatever it is that you're doing, I think that you're drawn to it. I think that it's something that's been calling to you. And I think it's like a call that you haven't been able to answer because you were just like under the spell of whatever. Take that how it resonates for you, because these are general reads and these, are stories that I share. So, do with them what you will, and take what resonates for you and leave the rest. But yeah, I mean, it definitely was an interesting read. If this does resonate with you, please do give me a like, share, and subscribe. And I will see y'all again soon. Bye.